Hello everyone and welcome back to the Canary Central channel and Kellen is seemingly looking like he could be on his way out in the summer to join the Premier League giants as they look to bring in the bait to sign him by hooking Kellen Fisher on that rod to join one of the big boys in the Premier League. And it seems to be a very interesting sort of case as you have multiple clubs looking to sign him, and it's been a very rowy sort of transfer saga for the last couple of hours, to be honest, as Everton, Newcastle, Manchester United, and even Arsenal are looking to sign the 21-year-old from us. And it does look like they are really trying to fight for it, as clubs such as Everton look like they have submitted a formal bid of £10 million. That is rumoured, which in my eyes is quite a lot for a player of his calibre, and that was a rumoured figure. Everton had originally looked like they were going to purchase in the summer transfer window, as that was a rumoured figure that they were going to go for him in the summer of last season when Liam Manning was in charge, as they were one of the front runners to potentially sign him. But now they've come back in January and looking like they can go in for him as well. The club sit 8th in the Premier League looking for European football, and what a way to have a potential backup right back or a potential starting right back in the Premier League during their potential European campaign under David Moyes at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. And to be honest, it'd be a great move for Kellen Fisher. However, moving up north might not be the best idea for him, having to move away from such an area that he's been at for the last 3 years, coming in from Bromley for over £100,000. What was originally looking for Fisher to be in the youth academy system for Norwich City. Now, where under David Wagner, originally he was brought up, and he has become an incredible player since, being nurtured under Johannes Torp, who, I think was the only player that really had that sort of potential and one of the probably the better players that Johannes Torp sort of raised at his tenure at Norwich City. And he was definitely one of the big front runners, as one of the biggest players that sort of came out of his tenure here. But so far he's been unbelievable, with over 80 appearances for Norwich City and having an unbelievable couple months under new head coach Philippe Clement. And I think he is definitely one of the best right backs in the Championship, and has definitely surpassed the likes of Jack Stacey, who was unbelievable last year. And he definitely deserves that starting position, and he has cemented it now. And I think he's probably one of our best right backs, probably since Max Aarons, potentially, if you go far back as that, which is only a couple years ago. But for a player of his calibre, is unbelievable. And with him now getting called up into the under-21s, which he will be playing at Carrow Road towards the end of March up against Moldova, it should be an incredible experience for him, and he certainly deserves it, with over 80 appearances being racked up for the club, and all these stats that he has had. Even though goals-wise he scored none for us, he has certainly brought eyes towards him for his calibre, as shown with Manchester United potentially looking like they could get rid of Mazraoui in the summer. And could Kellen Fisher be the potential replacement for him? Yes, Kellen Fisher is more of a Championship player in my eyes, and probably isn't suited for the Premier League just yet, as you also have clubs such as Newcastle looking to replace Livramento if he goes to Manchester City in the summer, and replace him with Kellen Fisher. I mean, you had players for Newcastle such as Lewis Hall, who has been nurtured under Eddie Howe, and I think for an English head coach with very brilliant experience within the Championship, I think he'll really be able to nurture Kellen Fisher. And so with David Moyes, I think their experience in the sort of English leagues will really help Kellen Fisher sort of be nurtured into the Premier League. And it is one of the hardest leagues to keep yourself in and be the most consistent in, because one bad mistake can leave your career absolutely suffering, as shown with many players before. But you also have clubs such as Arsenal, who I would say, if they were going to sign Fisher, I think they would immediately loan him out into the Championship, probably, because I don't see him starting whatsoever in that incredible Champions League winning potential squad. And with players such as Ben White looking like he'll be going to Juventus, Barcelona, etc. Potentially even Everton, it looks like, on the cards for Ben White. But yeah, I think Kellen Fisher joining Arsenal isn't probably the best for him. I mean, yes, Ben never has good relations with Arsenal and will be able to push for a really high fee for him. But I think if we were to sell Kellen Fisher in the summer and these were the 4 main running clubs and you'd want to get the best out of him, yes, you'd be looking for the best asking price for him, which for Everton, it looks like a really good fee for us. However, I would argue Newcastle United would be the best option for him to go to. And I know people would say that the money isn't really the biggest situation minute with Mark Atanasio pumping in a ton of cash for us with spending 70 million over the last 2 seasons. Yet, as much as that hasn't really provenly worked, I mean, yes, it's doing really well with money well spent in the January transfer window under Felipe Clement. But I think with money coming in from Josh Sargent with 20 million quid plus add-on bonuses, I think we're kind of fine with the whole money situation. But I think Cannon Fisher leaving Norwich is probably not the best option for us, and especially for his career. But who knows, because it ultimately ends up with his decision at the end of the day, and that has sort of stirred up over the last couple of hours, where every single couple of hours it seems to look like that a new club was looking to sign him, and at one point it probably looked like the whole Premier League was after him. But who knows what could happen as well. Cannon Fisher looking like he could leave Norwich City to join many clubs. We'll see what happens. Will he leave Norwich City and sort of remove that potential starting position guaranteed for him, or will he join the Premier League where he'll have to fight for his place just like he had to do before? But who knows what could happen. Thank you very much for watching. What are your thoughts on the Cannon Fisher situation, and could he potentially leave in the summer to join the big giants in the Premier League? Who knows what could happen. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and well, take in this kind of big news that looks like is coming in from many sources around the world. But anyway, thank you very much. Cheers. Come on, Yellows. See you later. Cheers and goodbye.